All right.
What's up, everybody? Welcome
What's
to
up,
Food Therapy.
everybody? Hello, hello, hello. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Excited, so excited. So, all right, now go live. Now I
Yep,
can.
yep,
So,
me
vote.
too. Hopefully. I'm just going to see. I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you to
Oh,
go live.
wait a minute. There I am.
There it is.
Okay. Okay, now I can share it. Okay. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I
We
just
are.
got to.
Okay, now I can share it. Okay. Yeah.
Hold on. Hold on. I'm in the wrong place. You keep talking. I know
Now
because
we're
you can
echoing.
hear
Yeah,
me.
we're echoing. We've got one viewer, but I think it's just Tyler, so we're good.
Hi,
Zippity
Tyler.
doo.
Oh,
Guys,
it's
we're
not letting
making.
me do. It's not letting me go to Siobhan Spark Up Community. Oh, I'll copy the link. Copy the link,
There you
and
go.
then I'll go to
Hey
then
guys,
I'll go to the
welcome.
Spark Up
All
Community.
right, shh. All right, here. So you're. Hey guys, welcome to Food Therapy. Thanks for joining us. We're going to be making paleo brownies today, and it's going to be
We
it's
are.
so fabulous. Yum, 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 yum. And you know
Yes,
what? I might
yes.
announce. You know what, Siobhan? I actually might announce my big news on Food Therapy. I'm
Oh.
still going to announce it officially to the world tomorrow. Um, but I think I'll do it to the show. But I'll wait. I'll wait a few minutes. So it's for
Oh
more
my
people to jump
gosh,
on.
this is so exciting. So if you're just
It
joining
is
us,
exciting.
Stephanie and I, well, Stephanie has some wonderful news that she's going to
Oh
share
yeah.
with us today. We're actually getting a sneak preview because she was going to share it tomorrow on her personal page.
Which
But
is still
I,
am.
yeah,
Yeah.
which do I? Am I hearing something? No, I thought
No.
my phone was. I thought my phone was talking back to me. So,
There we go.
so welcome everybody. This
Yeah.
I know
Welcome
we've said
everybody.
welcome 3 times. This
Yeah.
is
This
this is
is
no.
Siobhan.
This is
Siobhan from Spark Up Kitchen.
and Stephanie from De-FaRekin-Licious. And if you've seen
Yeah.
Stephanie's new logo, she makes it really easy to see the FaRekin in there. I love the bold
Yeah.
red that's
I do.
kind of,
I love that.
yeah.
And you know what's even more exciting is that Natalie, mine and Siobhan's business coach, is the one who helped me create and design that. And she
Mm-hmm.
really does have an eye for that kind of thing because I was telling her that I want something where it's not de-freaking, it's not de-frickin', it's de-fa-rickin'. I want people to see and understand the emphasis on the fa-rickin' licious.
Yes.
And then she just came up with that. And I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, so we're making my also De-FaRekin-Licious paleo brownies today, and they are wonderful. So we might as well, Siobhan, let's
I know. Well,
do it.
these are going to cook for these are going to cook for 20 minutes
Like
too. So,
13, 20 minutes. No, I think it's like,
oh,
oh, they are. Oh my God, you're right.
about 20,
We better
20
get
minutes.
started. Yeah,
20
20
minutes,
minutes.
that's okay. And the
Heck yeah,
ingredients here are really simple.
really simple.
Almond butter,
Yes,
which Stephanie is pouring right now.
yes. 1 cup of
Maple,
almond
yeah,
butter.
or organic maple syrup, 1 egg, ghee, vanilla, cocoa or cacao, and baking
Cacao,
soda.
cocoa powder or
Cacao,
cacao powder. Cacao is
cacao, yeah,
more of a considered an organic form, but cocoa
yes,
powder, and I'm using cocoa powder that I get from Trader Joe's, and that is
nice.
just just fine, just
I'm
fine.
doing what you did. I am pouring. I know. I was talking to Graham last night.
Yeah,
So these don't have flour in them. And Graham's like, "Well,
yes,
how are you making brownies without flour?" And I said, "Well, the same way lots of
not
people bake without flour. You use
right. So
you
the
use other
consistency,
ingredients."
yeah, the
Yeah.
consistency of the almond butter, the cacao powder, all of it together. And this is the biggest deal, guys, is that because there's no flour, like a normal all-purpose flour, you don't
Yeah.
have anything to create that bind of all of the ingredients. So it is imperative that when you make these, that you bake them immediately. And I'll tell you what, I've made the mistake of, oh, let me go ahead and mix all my ingredients and then
Yeah.
take the ingredients to so-and-so's place, etc., and then put it in the oven. And what happens is the oil and everything, the ghee and the oil separate
Right.
from the almond butter, and it causes them to be, crispy, but not in a good way, because these are supposed to be
Right.
moist, chewy brownies, just like the one like Duncan Hines. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, the first time I made these, and I was like, oh my god, they tasted just like Duncan Hines to me. And I mean, and
I'm
Duncan Hines
sure.
really is. So,
Yes, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
oh, so.
So I've been having fun with, so as you know, Stephanie does the Empowered Conversations every week.
Yeah.
And her guests are so amazing that after she interviews them, I basically hunt them down to say, you're great. You're an awesome person, and I love what you're saying. And, Carol Boston, who was with us last week for Fish Tacos, you may remember she was making her drinks.
Oh, God.
If you want to follow somebody, who is not only a brilliant mindset coach, she calls herself the Reframe Queen, but she is hilarious. And she has a craft cocktails with Carol on Wednesdays yesterday. So I watched.
We had so much fun. And that was on for like an hour and about 20 minutes. And I finally had to go because I'm like, I have all this stuff to do in preparation for my trip on Sunday, which I guess I could, tell everybody my big news, at least for those that are watching.
Yeah.
But I'll give it another couple minutes for people to jump on.
Sure. Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Here's another thing, Siobhan. Here's another thing that's extremely, extremely very important. So mix all of your liquid ingredients and whisk them, stir them very, very well until you're putting your cocoa powder and baking soda in. I, again, have made the mistake of putting everything all in at the same time, and mixing it all up. And again, the consistency of the brownies is just not as moist. So I'm adding my vanilla here, 1 teaspoon of vanilla.
Yeah, I'm going to add up all my stuff as well. So, Stephanie, I was browsing around in your course the other day because you said you had made some changes. So I went in there, and it just reminded me of how wonderful this course is. And, the thing, and I know I've said everything that I like about it so far, but you really bring yourself to it, right? A lot of these courses, there's not a personal touch necessarily to it, but what I love is that at the beginning, there's always something that you relate back to you, right? This is you from your experience. So whether it's every chapter, whether it's a little video or it's just a quote or it's a picture, but I love it because it shows that this just isn't something that you got somebody else to create or that you got it from someone else. Like, this is actually from your own personal life and experience. And that's what I really like about it. And the other thing I really like is the fact that you can make comments, because I was reading back through our comments, because when I bought Stephanie's course, it was back in November, before we, before we were friends and before this was even hatched.
That is right.
I took the course, and I was reading back on all the comments we made back and forth, because you're very quick. There's a whole comment area, like a discussion area, which is great, because if you have any questions, you can put the questions right in the comments, and Stephanie sees them and responds to them, and it's so cool. Some of my stuff that I was commenting on, but that's the beauty of your course as well. And it was really, there was a chapter there. First you want to establish your why. I think it was. You want to establish your why, and then it's how you feel about yourself. So I love the way that you set it up so that you're talking about yourself first. You're not giving any suggestions or tips or hints on anything. It's let's see where you are in your life right now. And and I loved it because you didn't. There's later on down in the course a little bit. There was something about working out and exercise, and the more you exercise, the more you can exercise. And
the more you do, the more you can do.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
actually give suggestions on websites that people can
Right.
go to for
Right.
workouts, and yeah, and
Yeah.
I never felt in the dark in that course. Like I never
Right.
thought, what's she talking about? Where does she want me to go? What's she doing? Yeah,
Right.
so I highly
Because
recommend.
thank you, Siobhan. I
You're
love the
welcome.
endorsement. Holy cow. Yeah. It's funny because I know that, so many people, a gym is just not their place. It's
Yeah,
just not where they really can resonate with getting themselves motivated to exercise.
yeah,
So I make suggestions, and even, going past, maybe I didn't think of everything, but you're like, oh, but I really am doing this. And I know that I raise my heart rate and can be in better physical fitness if I do that, well, then do that. But it's about being consistent. But
that's
again,
right.
because you're not going to do the steps. You're not going to follow a carry through on the steps and the suggestions and the tools that I've brought forth unless you first know why you want to even, I often tell the story of, a client who, you know, she couldn't say no to the donuts and the pastries in the office
Yeah,
every single morning.
yeah.
And because it was tied to a memory in childhood where they weren't allowed as children to have sweets.
Yeah,
She was always in denial and she had to sneak sweets. So while she knew she wanted to lose weight and be healthier,
yeah,
well, at the office, she couldn't say no. But when we went through the story, because we're talking, it's about your
yeah,
life. And
yeah.
we are everything, every experience. And she happened to bring that as we were just digging deep into why she couldn't say no to the donuts and the pastries at the office in the mornings.
Mm.
They're not there every morning,
Yeah,
but she's like, and when we talked about that childhood story, all of a sudden she's like, whoa. She no longer saw that subconscious reaction that caused her to not be able to say no. And she
right.
realized, ah, and no longer was that tied to an emotional response of lack as a kid. And she was able to say no to the pastries and the donuts.
It's amazing. I just gotta melt my butter here. I don't have ghee. I'm just gonna use butter.
Okay.
But
Okay. There.
one of the ways we self sabotage ourselves is our intention and realizing the intentions behind the behaviors, because a lot of those intentions
Exactly.
could be self. And for instance, like the donuts, but are you eating because you're hungry? So hunger is your intention, or are you eating to cover up an emotion? And that's an
Mm-hmm.
intention. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And let me real quick say, guys, that course right now is 65% off.
Oh my
65%
gosh.
off. Yeah, and all you got to do is, and I'll provide a link to the course at
Yeah.
the end of. I'll provide a link. Right, like I said, I've noticed a couple more people have jumped on. My
Yeah.
course right now is 65% off. So I'll
That's
provide a link.
amazing.
When you go to checkout, you have in all caps the code welcome, welcome,
Yes.
and that will
Yes.
that will slash 65% off of the price of $497. And
Wow.
you know, think of how much you and your life are worth whatever dreams and goals and life aspirations you have,
Yeah.
and what could possibly be blocking you. I have blocks. I was talking to Siobhan earlier today about something that I felt was blocking me about a year ago, and the
Mm-hmm.
steps that I took.
Yeah.
Now that's a non-issue. It doesn't mean that things don't still come up. But my point is that, are you living your best life? Are you living a life that you don't need to have a vacation from? How are you
Yeah.
creating a life that you don't need a vacation from?
Well, Stephanie, I'm sorry, but I just brought up your course here now because I wanted to share like some of the things here, and I don't know what chapter I am in, but there's, you know, who are you spending most of your time with? And the homework, you know, write down ideal and important qualities in a relationship that you want. Or, you know, what does your ideal day look like? List some things that you really enjoy doing. Like I really found, and I've spoken before about not knowing who I was. I actually did a live video not too long ago. It was earlier this week about, are you waiting for somebody to rescue you? And when I was waiting for someone to rescue me many years ago, I had no idea who I was. Nobody was asking me those questions. And you know, and I have a friend now who is, I know she's not watching, and you know, she does not know where she's going. Like she's just come off you know, a serious illness, and she doesn't know kind of what her next step is or where she's going. And you know, I would love to buy her the course, but I honestly don't know if she's in the mindset to take it.
I could give this course away for free all day long.
Yeah.
But if people aren't willing, because again, if you don't know your why, if you don't know what you want, if you don't, you know, and it's like, why do I do Stephanie's course for free? Why do I do it for $1? Why do I do it for $10 billion? Because there's something that you're gonna gain in your life.
Oh, for sure. And you know, it just helps you answer those questions, and you get to know yourself better. And that's the key. You know, when you don't know yourself, it's really hard to figure out what you really want to do in life when you don't know yourself, because you end up like I have. You end up in the wrong job, in the wrong, you know, in the wrong relationship, in the wrong city. You know, there's so many things that can go wrong when you don't know yourself. And there's also
not even that it's wrong, but it's part of the journey. It doesn't mean, it might have been part of the journey, but it doesn't mean that you have to stay on that trajectory. You go to a different trajectory. Do you see what I'm saying? It's nothing's ever wrong. No choice you ever made was wrong. There's better choices, of course.
There are better
choices. But when you start on that path to better, deeper self-awareness, self-discovery, you start to operate your life with intention and on purpose, which is everything that you and I talk about all the time on the show.
All the time.
And I just wanted to say real quick, guys. Okay, so it's not the consistency of normal brownies either, but you spread it out. And I'm going to tell you right now, when you cook these and you eat them, they are
De-FaRekin-Licious. I know. I'm putting it in right now. I'm going to be licking the spatula for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I know. It's really, Yeah, you just spread it out. See, you just spread it out with a spatula. No big deal. And it was sticking to, you know, and again, there's a little bit more work involved in making these, but not that much work. You know, that you can doing something really good and healthy for yourself. You know, this is about delicious and healthy.
Now, Stephanie, I forgot to ask, you include some recipes in your course?
Yes,
I know I've got the De-FaRekin-Licious cookbook, but I don't know and I know that's going to be a separate thing that's going to be coming out. And oh my God, I got a sneak preview of the cookbook, and I am just so impressed. And I know, there we go.
We're going in. All right, going in. So I would set the timer. It says 20 to 23. I would say 20. Let's say 21.
Okay. There we go. All right. I got to tell you, people, I don't know anybody who's done a cookbook, to be honest with you. I don't. But I absolutely loved the look. And, you know, like you said, and, you know, we talked about your book the other day, and you were saying that you write how you talk. And we all know Stephanie's got that voice. And when you're reading the cookbook, I hear Stephanie, I do this and I put this much in and I could just throw that in. And, it's so fun because it just adds a different element to it. And I got to share with you, Steph, but just to get off the topic for a sec. I was talking with my friend Amy last night, and she said she had no idea. She thought that we had known each other for a really long time. She said, "Oh my God, I thought you guys had been friends for years." And I said, "Well, it kind of feels like we've been friends for years because
it really does, Siobhan.
We're so like we talk on if we don't text every day, we're on the phone, and you know how much people call each other these days. Not a lot, but Stephanie and I like talk on the phone probably at least once or twice a week. Anyway, and so I think
was it yesterday? When did I think on Facebook? Was it yesterday? Or I was on the elliptical.
You were coming home from the gym, I think. Yeah.
No, I was on the elliptical. I FaceTimed you.
Right, but then you left and went to your car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So I got off the topic of your cookbook there, but when you release your autobiography, you're gonna do an audio book too, aren't you? Are you gonna read it?
I'm doing an audio book of my autobiography. I'm also I'm filming myself reading my autobiography. So you're going to be able to watch me on video reading.
Oh my God, I love that idea.
A hilarious account of all the bullshit I've been through, and other fabulous life happenings. But but we're talking about that's a little bit down the road. But the cookbook, I'm in the process of final edits, and there are several people actually who have copies of it. The original rough draft of my cookbook. But guys, you're going to be throwing that out because this is so much. It's updated, and the pictures are updated. Some of the steps and ingredients are updated. So you definitely want the new copy. But what I wanted to say, I guess I might as well tell everybody my big news. I don't know how many more people we're going to jump on. Maybe we'll have people watching a little bit later. But I'm flying to New York on Sunday, and I'm going to be a guest appearance on Chef Clemenza Caserta's show, Sunday Dinner with Clemenza. And I am on there as De-FaRekin-Licious. I'm going to be making my paleo pizza with Clemenza. It's going to be so much fun. I'm so damn excited about that. This is such an honor to be on his show. His show is on Roku, on the DB&A network, if you have Roku, Amazon Prime, as well as Fire TV. Also,
Amazon Prime is what we have up here.
Okay, Sunday Dinner with Clemenza. So every day at 6 p.m., they're broadcasting his show live. They're all pre-recorded, so I won't be live on Sunday on Clemenza's show, but it'll be recorded and then it'll be launched through a live streaming platform at a later date. My episode.
Right.
So it's like I said, it's a real big honor. And my second big, huge announcement is I'm starting a new food blog, like a travel food blog. I'm combining Empowered Conversations and De-FaRekin-Licious. And it's going to be called De-FaRekin-Licious Conversations.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Yes. I'm going to be starting it at Clemenza's. And so basically, y'all, I love one of the best things that you can watch. I feel like there's so much education. You learn about the chefs, learn about different cultures. You learn about different foods. One of the best things, in my opinion, that you can watch are food documentaries, okay? Like Chef's Table, like Ugly Delicious, like High on the Hog, Somebody Feed Phil. Most of these are through Netflix, but it's amazing what you learn with these personalities and some chefs that are traveling the world, traveling the state. And where I got the idea for De-FaRekin-Licious Conversations is I was watching Ugly Delicious Breakfast, Lunch, and Dinner and David Chang was with Seth Rogen. And they were in Vancouver because that's where Seth Rogen is. And I'm like, ding, 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 ding. Oh my God, I'm going to come to Vancouver. I'm going to interview with, walk around with Siobhan, walk around with Kim Bond, walk around with Tanya.
Yeah.
Now Natalie,
Yeah.
and you take me to your favorite hot spots and we'll just be talking. We'll have conversation. Obviously, it's not going to be live. This is going to be an edited show.
Yeah.
And and not everything has to be food. You could take me to your favorite coffee shop or your favorite, let's see, something non-food related at all. Your favorite monument, museum, something, your favorite flower shop, your favorite OMG. We got to go down to the corner. You need to meet so-and-so. She's hilarious. Or obviously we'll be going to Tanya's stand up, sit down. You know what I'm saying? So guys, so I'm flying to New York on Sunday. I'm going to be on a guest on Clemenza's show, Sunday Dinner with Clemenza. I'm starting De-FaRekin-Licious Conversations, which is like a food travel blog type post, empowered conversation, and some bullshit. Because, David Chang and Seth Rogen weren't necessarily having like deep,
No, and that's the thing. Like we don't like, even when we do this show, we don't necessarily. And if our regular viewers have noticed, we don't want to be like so serious and mindset and life lessons like week after week after week, because there's a whole. In case you haven't noticed, even by the look of us, there's a whole other side of us.
We're very, very
funny and easygoing, and we want that to reflect in the show as well. So not that we've taken a break from the serious conversations, but we haven't planned one. Normally when I say plan, it's just like, hey, you want to talk about this. But sometimes one of the best things come out is just going live and talking like we are. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. That's what I liked about. What about those that show that Seth Rogen was on, right? And I just live outside of Vancouver, but I knew where they were when they were walking around. And Natalie lives in White Rock, and I live close to White Rock, and there's the Marine Drive, which is a strip right on the water, and it's restaurant after restaurant after restaurant. And I want to take you to Uli's, and that's one of the most popular restaurants down there. And I don't know the chef personally, but he's in there 24/7. And if we told him who you are and what you're doing, oh my God, he would absolutely love it. And and Tanya does live in Vancouver, so she's got a line on all kinds of different restaurants.
Exactly.
And Kim lives in she just lives in another city that's like 5 minutes down the road. But because of where we are, we're each sort of in our own place that has its own restaurants, and it's so
your
exciting.
Own like fun hot spot, or not necessarily a hot spot, fun spots, like your own things that mean something of so much value to you in your life that you'll be sharing with me. And I also forgot to mention, so also while I'm in New York, my girlfriend Tina has moved to the Bronx. So listen, so I'm not okay. I'm going to refrain from mentioning what she's doing because that's going to be her debut. But let me just tell you that I'm also going to be going to the Bronx while I'm there, and I'm going to be doing an episode of De-FaRekin-Licious Conversations with her as we walk around Bronx, and she takes me, her and her friend who lives there, take me to very different places. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, that's so exciting. That is really so exciting. Really. And, while Stephanie's, taking her cooking and going off in crazy directions, my laughter yoga has really been taking off as well. Yesterday, I booked 4 laughter yoga parties. So people are catching on, right? They're realizing the power of laughter. And honestly, the fact that nobody's heard of it, when in fact there are 1,000 social laughter clubs across 100 countries, the fact that no one in my community knows what it is and that I'm bringing it to them, It's just been an amazing journey with the laughter yoga since I started. And for me, because I'm doing it all the time. I got feedback yesterday from a regular laughter yoga person who comes to my class every Wednesday morning, and she said, and I noticed too. She says, I find myself laughing more at ridiculous things that I never would have found funny. And she said, it's not even that I necessarily find them funny, but I want to laugh more. And that's what I find too, is that I just want to laugh more at stupid things like like a mouse. Not really, but I could make mouse laughter. But that's the thing, is that as your body becomes more and more used to laughing, and the muscles are more engaged. And the endorphins too.
For that.
Yeah, it's the endorphins, specifically serotonin and the runner's high, endorphin, and serotonin. Yes, both of those get released during
dopamine. So next week there will not be an episode of Food Therapy or Empowered Conversations.
That's right.
But I will. Oh, and yes, tomorrow, guys, you've got to come on and watch Empowered Conversations.
So who do you have on?
Oh my God, her name is Goddess Canella. She is fabulous. I met her. You remember Gina, the goddess queen witch? Who owns Choreocraft and Conjure. I met Goddess Canella through Gina.
Oh, okay.
And I was listening to a podcast because Goddess Canella, and Gina has a podcast. They both have podcasts, but Gina was basically on. I think it was Canella's, and they were in Choreocraft and Conjure. And I remember listening, going, "OMG, I gotta have this girl on my show." And she's been texting me. She goes, "Can I get on through my iPad?" I'm like, "I don't know. I hope so. But we'll figure it out." But then I'm on her show. It's when I come back from New York. I'm on her show, and golly, for the life of me, I can't think of what it is. I can go to Instagram. It's
I can't remember the name of her show.
Most of it's sexually related. I'm drawing a blank. All about love. I think she's got a couple of different podcasts that she does, but I'm coming on her podcast. And, you were talking about Edna. I'm going on the Badass series. I'm on her podcast the 27th of this month. So,
nice.
Tomorrow, guys, starts not the full, the new moon. The new moon is when you want to write down your intentions for, just write it down. I
gotta remember to do that. That's tomorrow, right? Write down the intentions. I'm gonna
at 9:16 p.m. Is when the new moon is here in this. I don't know. That'd be not. I think it's still going to be 9:16, but you'll just be later in your, where you are. But I know that because you're about to come into something new, and that's where it's like you then can gain the insight, and you want to write down your intentions, write down what you want, write down what you want to manifest in your life. And we had another, but anyway, so I had two people jumped on, and they jumped right off. They're like, "Oh shit, I didn't mean to jump on." That's cause, and I know why, because they want to go back and watch from the beginning.
That's right. Of course they do. Of course they do. Yes.
Yeah, we got 7 minutes.
Yeah, well, that's okay. That's okay. So last week I conquered another. Well, actually, I wasn't afraid last week. So I've been doing motorcycle training, some more motorcycle training, because we're going into we're doing a big motorcycle trip in August. So it's about a 4,000 kilometer round trip around our province.
Nice.
And I've been wanting to do some training. And a year ago, when my husband's a motorcycle instructor, so he used to do all these classes, right? He used to have his own motorcycle, advanced motorcycle skills school called Roadcraft Academy. And when he would talk about these things, I would be so intimidated. You know, he would talk about the advanced course and what was going on, and I'd be like, oh my God. And he talked about these pit meadow track days. Now, in my head, I was picturing a track, you know, around like a relay track, like just a track around a field. So I was thinking we were just going to be going around and around and around in circles. No. So it turns out that it's this huge parking lot and the cones are all set up so that you're actually, you know, driving a road. So there's cones and markers where the corners are, and there's these huge turns. And so I was quite surprised, first of all, that we weren't just going around and around in a circle, because I never really thought that was really appealing. And then, but I was going to do it because it was going to help me with my cornering, because we're going through a lot of mountain passes, right? And switchbacks and uphill and around corners. Like, I got to know what I'm doing. And before I took the advanced course, I used my brakes on every turn. I used to take the power off of my motorcycle because I didn't know how to get around a corner without slowing down. And how many times did your parents slow down? So in my head, it's always slow down. When in reality, there's got to be a little bit of speed when you go around a corner, especially coming out of a corner. You got to have the speed on to get out. And, you know, talk about conquering limiting beliefs. I remember when I used to be afraid of cornering, you know, and then I'm in the process of learning how to be an advanced motorcyclist. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So we went to the course on Sunday and did that on Sunday, which was great. I feel so confident. And Saturday, we're actually going up to visit friends of ours. They moved to my local friends will know Shuswap, right around, which is about 4.5 hours outside of Vancouver, over a mountain pass. But we're taking our motorcycles. So I'm really excited. It's kind of like a trial run, going through some mountains. I have done some mountain riding on my motorcycle.
That'll be so much fun.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. So, you know, anything is possible. Anything is possible.
Absolutely.
If you know yourself. And again, talk about getting to know yourself. You know, you should release a page or something from your course or something like that.
Yeah.
Just so people will know like what it looks like. And because there's so many courses out there, and I don't want yours to get lost.
Well, when I share the link, the actual how are you creating a life that you don't need a vacation from is the main picture. And then you click on it, and then it's, you know, all about me and the course and what, you know, it's asking you questions of why you even want to take the course. And again, guys, it's right now 65% off. But what you do is when you check out, you put in the code, all caps, welcome.
Yeah.
And then that takes 65% off of that $497 price. So make sure to do that. But yeah, I mean, but I really appreciate all the endorsement, Siobhan. I mean, Siobhan obviously gained a lot of freaking value. But like what you were saying, I just wanted to speak to what you were saying earlier. This is my life experience. I bring my life experience. I bring what I've learned and what I've taught myself. And that's what I want to empower others. I know what it's done for me in my life and the shit show I've experienced, the shit show that, you know, certain pull out the rug from under me situations, but I've been able to persevere through.
Yeah.
And had I not taught myself and learned these tools, you know, when I was in my early 20s, and then that's carried over throughout my entire life, you know, so it really is, it's a lot of, it just brings a lot of value. And it doesn't mean you're going to turn into me, but you're going to turn into the highest and the best version of you,
of yourself.
And of yourself. And at least it's going to put you on the trajectory, because my course ain't the end all be all, but no course is. No book is. I mean, you could read You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero, and that'd be the only book you ever read on self-awareness. But that you don't just stop there. You don't just go to the gym one time.
So, I love that.
But you start to realize, ooh, what else can I learn about myself? What else could I bring forth? What else do I have access to that I had no idea I even had access to?
That's right.
I think that that's what my course brings a lot of that out.
Well, yeah, exactly.
That's the intention. That's the intention.
Well, and I say the same thing. Like my ideal client are people who say, I need to get out of my own way. I want to get out of my own, because I said that my entire life. But until I actually did get out of my own way and see what that looked like, then I couldn't go forward. And, it's not like physically going, okay, I'm going to move out of my own way. It's a mental, it's a mental change, and finding out who you are and what makes you tick is so important.
What makes you unique?
What makes
you unique? What makes you special?
What makes you unique? Exactly. Stephanie and I, what makes me unique is I have cooking, coaching, and comedy and laughter. What makes Stephanie unique is that she's got conversations and comedy and look at that.
Cooking and mindset coaching. Oh my God, girl. Yeah. Guys.
Oh, now is this gonna be ready? Yeah. I'm gonna stick it.
We can at least,
I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way and take a toothpick and stick it down in the middle. Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Girl, I'm telling you guys, these are amazing. These are amazing.
They really are. Are you cutting into yours already?
Yeah, I'm taking like a silicone spatula.
Yeah.
And I'm just very gingerly.
Okay. Just sort of cutting?
Yeah, I mean, you can cut one, and we got to eat at least one on camera.
Well, of course I am. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. Of course we do. I didn't know you could.
So good.
Oh my God, it's like butter. It's just like butter. Nobody I know used to say that. I say that. It's just like butter. But I think I'm going to have to, I'm taking out a.
Yeah, or we can let them cool. But what I'm saying is you can eat them hot.
But look at that. Look, I've got it just right now in front of the camera with the steam coming out of it. Look at that gorgeous thing, Steph.
And oh my God, Siobhan. Oh my God, yours look thicker than mine. Did you double your recipe, or did you have a smaller?
No, you know what? I have a smaller pan. I have an 8x8 pan.
Okay.
And so maybe that's it. I think yours could be a 9 by something, but I did an 8 by something. Oh my gosh. You know what? I'm just taking it right now. I've just got it in my hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
Okay. This is probably the best brownie I've ever had. Do you have 2-bite brownies down there? The brownies that come in the brown bag. They're called 2-bite brownies. This tastes like a 2-bite brownie, but so much cleaner than a 2-bite brownie. Like no additives, no preservatives, nothing. They're gluten-free.
Nope.
They're paleo. There's no dairy. Well, there's an egg in there, but there's no dairy.
Egg is paleo. These are 100% paleo. There is vanilla. There is organic maple syrup. Ghee, almond butter, and cocoa powder, and a little bit of baking soda.
Yeah.
Guys, these are undamn real. I'm telling you, these are just proper Duncan Hines.
Oh, so good.
Oh my God.
And not too sweet.
Yeah, I know. God, these are good.
Oh my God.
You know what I did? You know what I did last time? Forgot my damn egg. Because I was needing to take some pictures for my cookbook. And then I go and I've already got everything mixed up. I've already got it in the oven. And I'm like, I forgot my eggs. They look the same, but it was not. They didn't taste horrible, but they were not. The consistency. And I'm gonna tell you right now, guys. Always mix up your wet ingredients first.
Yeah.
You can't really see it. Always mix up the 4 wet ingredients first. And then after you've whisked that really, 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 really well, that's when you add your cocoa powder and your baking soda. Also, always, huge tip, mix everything. After you've done that, put it in the oven immediately. Don't take them to a friend's already mixed because the oil, everything separates.
Yeah.
And they're just not a good consistency.
Man, well, this is really delicious. I'm going to take pictures after and post them everywhere.
Oh my God.
I wanted to share with people. So we're not meeting next week. There's no food therapy next week. However, the week after that, we have another guest. So we mentioned her at the beginning of the show, Natalie Plummet and Thomas. If you do not know her, she is amazing. Go find her on Facebook. She is both of our business coach, not together. It's not like we have a business together. She does Stephanie separately and me separately. And she's also a personal friend of mine. My coaching certification came from her academy, Think Yourself Academy. She is a world-renowned public speaker, and she, I think in like 20 years ago, no, not 20 years ago, no, not 20 years ago, like 15 years ago, she was Canada's #1 fitness instructor in Canada. She is a hoot, and we're going to be doing 2 salads with her. So I'm really excited. That's in 2 weeks, everybody.
Yeah, 2 weeks, 2 freaking weeks, guys. So you're going to have to, again, I made my big, huge announcement, and I will continue to share that about what's going on. I'll put a link to my course. Remember, when checking out, put the code WELCOME so you get that 65% off. I mean, that's not going to be there forever. I mean, I'm going to be taking that down. Because I mean, the reason I did the discount is because I just launched my website, and it was kind of like, welcome to my website. Yeah, I am offer my courses.
Check out her website, De-FaRekin-Licious.com. Don't check out mine yet, because if you check out mine, it's going to say a work in progress. So don't check out mine, but check out Stephanie's.
Hell to the yeah.
All right, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for joining us, and hopefully there'll be some brownie left for when Graham gets.
Oh, I know. They're good. I'm telling you.
They're really good.
First time I made them, like, I don't know, 5, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, maybe. I was like, I'll try it. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, really good.
All right, guys. See y'all.
Bye.